have an informal, impromptu type of information on certain things pertaining to death, certain things pertaining to people call the demiurge and the enemy. We're going to identify the demiurge and the enemy, which means here is they'll put the decoy, the white boy, in front of us, and everybody that's been oppressed by the white boy around the world, that's enlightened, focus on the white boy, the white man, the white man. But there's some gods behind the white man, or otherwise the white man wouldn't be. You see what I'm saying? If there's forces that can kill up thousands of people in a couple of seconds, then that means the only reason why the white boy is allowed to be a predator on the planet is because there has to be principalities of God that allow them to do that. And we're in this whole cosmic warfare, so we'll get with that later. Right now what we want to do is we want to deal with certain things with the afterlife and certain things about death and different things. So we're going to have Brother Panic here that has a lot of the questions written down, and he's going to say some questions. And feel free to jump in at any time. Feel free to jump at any time, and we'll see what it is. This is interesting here because death is a balance out of the slavery of reincarnation for a few minutes. You see what I'm saying? If you didn't have death, you couldn't have life, or you couldn't have a reciprocal type of energy. You would have to have a certain balance. And it is the balance out of the grip of a certain entities that put us down here for slaves. We'll get into all that type of thing and all of that also too. You see, now it's interesting because if you are on the other side of death, you know that the living world is death. And somehow, if you reincarnate from that world into this world again, the others mourns the death of you in their world and the birth of you in this world. Everything is reversed. You see what I'm saying? That's why the Egyptians say foolish are the long-lived. That's why you don't see a lot of old people on the monuments. You know what I'm on the monuments and stuff like that. No, but then again, that's not really saying anything because these people had the knowledge to regenerate themselves so they can live 200-300 damn years. You know what I'm saying? Especially we talking about pre-dynastic on back. When Manetho said, he said, well, there's roughly about 8,000 years of gods and 8,000 years of pre-dynastic and 8,000 years of dynastic. We said 3,000 years of pre-dynastic and another 5,000 years of dynastic. He said roughly about 8,000 to 9,000 years. And they asked him, well, who used to rule before then? He said that was a whole bunch of gods used to rule. Well, that was a time, even in the point before we became, even the point when we first got trapped into the physical, for thousands of years we could regenerate ourselves and live as long as we want to. Now we know this is because as late as 18th century and early 19th century India, who kept some of these particular mystery schools open, they got accounts of people living 300 years old and only looking like they're in their 40s. And they had people that would live this long because they didn't have a great teacher to come behind in the school to lead the school of yogis to the people behind. So that particular teacher had to continue living until they got a teacher adept and suitable enough and astute enough to take over. So he would just have to live until they would get one up to speed. And you see, you know, so they can live up to 300 years just waiting on the suitable teacher. You see, and just regenerating their cells, I should have got the book out there to show you exactly how that works. They got a woman we got in this book that looked like she's 30, but she's 70. She's 71. You see what I'm saying and all, and it was remarkable. So we know that this can actually happen. This could actually happen. But I'm quite sure when the Egyptians say so foolish are the long-lived, they were talking about you get to the point where you got to walk in a walker and wear a bag on the side. You might well check yourself on out. You see what I'm saying and all. You know, it's bad enough living down this motherfucker young, excuse the expression. Especially in these modern times when everything is based on capitalism. You see what I'm saying and all, you know, based on capitalism. You know, so it's a certain thing. So we're going to deal with that. We're going to kick this over to, the Brother Panic, but also, like I said, all you brothers can feel free to jump in. But on the other hand, death is the new frontier. In 1999, I did a whole year on death in a lot of the tapes. Death is the new frontier. It is the light in the other room that will come on after this light is extinguished. The only difference is that particular realm hadn't matured to the maximum of what it's going to be. But believe it or not, I know at least from 2001 up to now, the other realm, the underworld, the Hemmitt, these different mystical names, they have had a series of initiations or a series of what they call not inaugurations, a series where they have these great parties. What would be the word for that? Where they have these great parties, they have these great ceremonies of a new birthing. And it'll come to me in a minute, but in so many words, they have a... Like commencement? No, it's not a commencement. It's like you... the word will come to me. It's a great celebration. It's a great celebration. It's a great birthday. It's a great party that is going on, and it'll come to me in a minute and stuff to talk about it in the Book of the Dead, where you just see endless amounts of tables of food.
Tributes, jubilee or something like that. Tributes.
Not tributes, not jubilees. It's another word that encapsulates all of that. Coronations. Coronations. Coronations.
Right.
And so they have all these coronation parties, and I've seen these parties. I was able to travel in my dreams and see these particular parties on the other side. So what used to be a gloomy and dismal type of terrain is now a beautiful and bright place. So it means that we are standing on the border from looking at this world that is being extinguished, and there's another world on the horizon that is already for us. Right. So they say, I have prepared a kingdom for you. Well, that particular realm is that particular realm has been prepared. Every now and then we bump into these realms. There's a book called Dancing with Dragons by D.J. Conway, and they said these mystical beings do exist, but every now and then we will see these, that mystical realm will bump into this realm. And that's when you get these mystical beings, they call them the chupacabras and stuff down in Mexico and different things like that. The Loch Ness Monster.
Mothman prophecies.
Mothman prophecies. And these particular mystical beings people see. UFOs. It's nothing but seeing these particular energy, light energies from the other side and stuff like that. And this earth is full of mystical things that's been unreported by science, because they're not allowed by the governments of the world to report these strange and bizarre creatures. But there's a book that was put out in the early 1900s. Charles Fort is his name, I think, of mysterious beings and stuff. So dragons, fairies. You get the movie Photographing Fairies. There's another one called A Fairy Tale, A True Story. And also the fairy kingdom, when you see these movies like the Santa Claus, the elves, gnomes, and all of those things are nothing but different aspects of the other world. Now I witnessed one of these coronations in 2002, where I saw these two people come out of the back of a kitchen. It was like we was in some club. So in so many words, the dream realm will fit the terrain or the setting to coincide with based on what you are familiar with in this world, to send a picture. So what would be a coronation or a celebration or a festival in the other world was me sitting in a club with a bunch of black folks, drinking, eating, having a good time. And out of the back of the kitchen, these little short, dwarf, twa people came out of the back of the kitchen, and they had their face, their skin was actually made out of what you would call mud cloth or kente cloth and different things that they have in the fabrics of Africa. This was the actual skin. And I don't know whether it was sending me a message to say, now you are these otherworldly beings. But it's interesting here, part of, and this is very key, and this is in the mythology, and this is in a lot of the esoteric work, you will have things like elves, gnomes, spirits, demons, ghouls, and goblins, and then you get this word, subterranean pygmies. So we've already identified the pygmy is the derogatory term of what the white man called the Twa people. But for the mere fact they have, out of all the people on the earth, they have identified a black African tribe or the most ancient form of the group of the oldest black people on the planet as a part of these demons and all this type of thing. And you get a sense of what they're talking about here. We are connected with the other side, and the Twa people is earlier people enough to even identify with the other side. As a matter of fact, just look at the god Bess. It's a monster-like figure. In so many words, I'm still giving you the images and what this world was able to view these spirits as, but in the other world, it's probably something so pristine and so beautiful until what is grotesque on this world is so pristine and beautiful because we're talking about energy, lights, and it can take on any kind of form.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It can take on any kind of form. You see, and these are things that we must ponder and and it was interesting because I understand now why white folks in the 1980s, especially from the mid-80s on up, the toys that the children would, the most popular toys would be these hideous forms of monsters. And they had commentary, why would these children want to play with these hideous form of monsters? And it was in toys and all, and then the computer age came, and now that's all in the PlayStations and all of the other computer games of these hideous forms of monsters. They're trying to get them to understand concepts other than the worldly concepts of what we are used to. And too often they give us religion to tell us that that is all evil. And they give their children and preparing them to just think on an other world type basis. So you want to get your mind to the point where the strange becomes the normal. The bizarre becomes your playground. And then you can expand your mind to go beyond just the mundane realm. Just the mundane realm. So these are some things we ponder. These are some things that, we can very well kick around a little bit. So give me some questions right quick.